Hello everybody, good evening. It's Andrew here. It's been a little bit since I've made a video, kind of going in depth with the weather recently. There really hasn't been that much going on. I decided to do a quick update tonight because I had time. Tomorrow there's going to be a low end severe risk across the mid-Atlantic, including states like PA, New Jersey, the Delmarva region, Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina. We also have another marginal out in Arizona. Main threats, a brief tornado or two are going to be possible across kind of that Delmarva region. Damaging winds are going to be possible in both areas, and large hail is possible in both areas as well. Day 3 also has a marginal risk, again with that same system that's going to be sliding northeastward across the northeast. A marginal is in effect for places in Long Island, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. A brief tornado or two and isolated damaging wind gusts are again the main threats. As we look at the HRRR for, sorry I got this mixed up, for kind of the northeastern region here, this is middle of the day here, as I pick my reflectivity product here. So here we are, here's middle of the day, and this is 1Z, you were looking, oh, here's tonight. Time is gonna be on the top left in this general region right there. Let me move in so we have a little bit more of the screen to work with here. Sorry, this took a little bit to focus up, but here we are. Throughout the morning hours today and tomorrow, some showers are going to be possible across portions of the northeast. We start to heat up in the morning and afternoon hours as a few supercell structures start to fire across Pennsylvania. Here is a look at a forecast sounding there in PA, and we can see, just looking at it, not the best favorability of the atmosphere. Look at the photograph on the top right there. It's rather small in the lower levels. It will be big enough, though, to create a risk for a tornado or two with a little bit of turning there at the surface. The free cape is also upwards of 1,000 or 100 joules per kilogram, which will also help. But instability will overall tend to be a little bit meager. We can see those supercells kind of move eastward. Probably the biggest threat will be in Maryland tomorrow. Even then, not the greatest threat ever. Some low-level turning throughout the profiles in the humid troposphere will result in a brief tornado or two being possible, along with isolated damaging wind gusts and maybe some large hail as well. This threat will kind of move eastward, and then the next day, again, looks like storms start off a little bit more rowdy in the morning hours across PA. And this threat does overall look a little bit better than the day before. We have a bit larger of a hodograph, which is making the tornado threat a little bit higher, along with the instability values looking to be a bit better as well. If we go a little bit further northeast, we can see same general things. As we move off to the northeast, these storms start to intensify. Still with a decent environment, so this may get upgraded to slight here. A rather streamwise hodograph noticed right here as well, which is contributing to a brief tornado or two as a threat. We can see here these storms kind of move off to the northeast here. And again, not terrible. This will again be a decent threat for some isolated tornado threat. You can see the hodograph is pretty streamwise and a little bit large there. We have 3 cape upwards of 150 joules per kilogram generally in this area as well. Steep low-level lapse rates will also contribute. So I think this threat for Tuesday may get upgraded depending upon kind of how the modeling goes and how widespread the coverage is. I feel like the further south you are, the higher chance you have for stuff, but the more north you are, the more shear you're going to have and the more likelihood of storms. And I think this marginal will probably be pushed into an area more like this for the day. Looking at kind of, again, looking at these soundings here. Looking at the 500 millibar here, we can see we have this 500 millibar system that's going to be entering the region from Ohio. In that general region, there's a little bit of a mesoload that develops across Maryland, and that pivots across the region there for tomorrow. And then Tuesday, a lot more 500 millibar wind shear is going to be present. The storm motion is generally going to be to the northeast, with your front motion being more like this. So we probably will see upscale growth pretty quickly, as your front's going to be moving more this way, while your storm motions are more like this. Now, any of the storms that are further out in front of the front, say the front is maybe in like eastern PA at this time, any storms that form out in front that are generally, oops, wrong button, that are in maybe more of this area may have more time to mature before the line of storms hits them. So any storms that are ahead of the front will have a chance for a tornado or two, maybe even a couple tornadoes with this system. You can see this little extra embedded pocket of energy up here. This will probably create a better threat for those discrete cells. Here's a look at our 850 millibar wind energy. Tomorrow there really won't be much of it. The only little bit that's generated is from a mesolobe, but it's been downtrending the past few runs. The 850 millibar energy looks a lot better on Tuesday. We have a better system that comes throughout the area, and you can see that system kind of powers throughout the northeast. And this is creating a much larger hodograph throughout the low levels, and a strong 3K will also help this system out. We're looking at pretty good 3K values across the region. Here is tomorrow. 3K will be pretty high tomorrow, probably 100, maybe 200 joules per kilogram. But 3K looks to be a bit higher on Tuesday. Maybe upwards of 200 plus in some areas. But again, more widespread, 100 to 200 joules per kilogram of 3K. But we take a forecast box sounding across this region. The hodographs generally look more enlarged. The winds are a little bit more backed as well. And there's overall a lot more instability throughout the atmosphere without that warm nose interfering. So I think tornadoes will probably be more of a threat on Tuesday rather than Monday. Well, going into Arizona here, again, looks like storms are going to fire throughout the afternoon hours across portions of Arizona. Maybe and into the evening, isolated damaging wind gusts will be possible, and then maybe an isolated storm threat as well on Tuesday. That looks a little bit more disorganized. We have our 500 millibar system from K. This is basically the remnants from Hurricane K that's going to be kind of moving across Arizona, and this could create a sneaky little severe weather setup with a little bit more amplified 500 millibar flow than normal across portions of Arizona for the time of year. If we look at our mixed layer Cape values here, generally speaking, 1,000 to 2,000 joules per kilogram will be enough to spark a few storms. Now, forcing is going to need to be there. If we take a look at individual soundings here, this was cherry-picked a little bit in the highest Cape region, but this will support damaging wind gusts given this dry area down here, inverted V profile. Enough mid-level wind shear is also noticed throughout the hodograph as well. So a threat for damaging wind gusts and some large hail will be possible across Arizona. That was my quick weather updates for the next couple days. If you liked what you saw, you can like and subscribe to the channel. I usually put out more storm chasing based content recently because I've been going out and doing a lot more of that. And if you want more of these videos, I will give them to you as the weather patterns kind of cooperate. I will have a 2022 storm chasing video that will be out around the end of the year, so you have that to look forward to. I'll probably release a trailer from that when I think I'm done chasing for the year. But that'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching, y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.